Oh, this is Mr. Hornsby 83 with Mr. Hornsby 83 Special Edition, my 2015 NFL Draft Edition, and I'm going to run down the teams that are picking and which positions I think they should choose and which positions I think they should just wait on. And first of all, I'm going to start out with Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay, the main thing they need to do, get a quarterback. Get Mariota or Winston, one of them guys. You need one of those guys to bring your team up. Because Lovie Smith really hasn't had a good quarterback, and in Chicago they didn't have a really good quarterback. And maybe now, I mean, I'm not saying these guys are the greatest things in the world. They're no Andrew Luck or, Peyton Manning or anything, but hey, they'll get you somewhere. They'll get the Bucks in the playoffs, which haven't happened in like last time they were in the playoffs. I think it was 2007. But they could also go defensive end or defensive tackle here. But I think they can get a defensive end, defensive tackle later in the draft because you got a lot of good loaded up draft this year, as the analysts and others put it. So D tackle, you need an explosive pass rusher. Since you let Michael Bennett go, which was stupid, let Michael Bennett go, you haven't had a dominant pass rusher because Adrian Claiborne did not turn out to what they wanted to be. Tennessee Titans. I say they go. I think they need to go nose tackle here because they don't really have a legitimate nose tackle, and maybe possibly go quarterback. I don't know. Maybe a 3-4 defensive end somewhere on that area. Because they're running a 3-4, you need some dominant players in a 3-4 to be a good 3-4 defense. Which I'm going to get to that with other 3-4 defenses, including the Colts later on. Number 3, Jacksonville Jags. I'd say running back, then offensive line. Like I think they need like an offensive guard or tackle or something. But definitely need a running back because you lost Maurice Jones-Drew. He went to Oakland and then retired. But yeah, Jacksonville, you want to compete with us, you better freaking do something to improve your team. But Alright, number 4, the Oakland Raiders. DN. I think you need a DN or a D tackle here because you got your so-called quarterback in the future, and freaking what's his face's brother. Uh, but yeah, DN, D tackle, maybe offensive tackle or something like that. I could improve the team, maybe even running back here. But past few years running backs haven't been taken very high in these drafts. So who knows? All right, number 5, Washington Redskins. If they're going to stick with the 3-4 defense, I think they need a good, solid nose tackle because you got your quarterback in RG3. In my opinion, he's overrated still, but nose tackle, maybe a good 3-4 outside defensive end, maybe little linebacker help somewhere in there. Chris Baker's not really that good. But yeah, nose tackle. All right, number 6, the New York Jets, and I'm gonna say running back here, maybe offensive line, because I mean your defense is gonna be stacked. Defense is probably gonna be one of the top defenses like it is every year, especially with the fact you got Darrelle Revis back. So maybe we could see offensive line here, maybe a quarterback. If one of these teams picking early don't take Winston or freaking Mariota, maybe he falls to the Jets. I don't know, but who knows? Alright, number 7, the Chicago Bears. If you're going to switch to 3-4 defense, the most important part to a 3-4 defense is a good, big, physical nose tackle. And there's going to be a lot of good ones here. They may take Danny Shelton, which I hope they don't. And really hoping some other team gets that, which I'll talk about later. But, I think nose tackle is a spot that they should go for here. Maybe defensive end. Could be another spot they go for. Offensive line's been a major issue for the Bears lately, so maybe there you just need to do something to improve the Bears all together. Number 8, Atlanta Falcons. I think they need to go with a running back here because if you want to be a good football team, you got to have a good running back in the backfield. If you don't have a good running back in the backfield, you're not going to get as far as you want to get. Look at my Colts. Look at, all these teams that have not had good running backs. You need a good physical running back that can handle it, but you also need a guy that can spell him, so he's not carrying the load the whole freaking game. So I think Atlanta go running back here. You really need a running back really bad. You got the receivers, you got the quarterback. You could also do something to improve that defense, which is one of the worst defenses of last year. And all right. Number 9, New York Giants. Defensive end, offensive tackle could be a spot they could go for. Defensive end, maybe go inside. Defensive tackle, get another guy outside your defensive tackles you got, because the Giants really got pwned. Another thing they can go with is a middle linebacker here. Something has to be done. Maybe another receiver to help Odell Beckham Jr. and help Eli try to be as good as his brother, which he never will be, but that's beside the point. Alright, number 10, St. Louis Rams, and with the fact that Kendall Langford had left the Rams, I think defensive tackle is an important spot they could go for here. Maybe, offensive lineman could be a good spot. Wide receiver, they definitely need a wide receiver because they haven't had good wide receivers in St. Louis since the greatest show on turf. So, we got many opportunities. Alright, Minnesota Vikings, defensive end, maybe wide receiver right here, because you need a wide receiver, you need defensive ends, you need somebody to help Adrian Peterson, because if you don't keep him, you can't keep having him carry the load. You got Teddy Bridgewater last year. Your defense is always solid, but you still need a defensive end. Jared Johnson, I think it is. Jared Allen. Jared Allen's getting older, and you're going to have to eventually look to the future with the defensive end spot. Alright. Next up, Cleveland Browns. Nose tackle is a spot they could go for. Quarterback. And, Cleveland, they just don't have no luck with quarterbacks. Their quarterback situation has been, pretty bad since they came back in the league. So, you guys have to get you a big, good quarterback here. You need to get you a nose tackle, another spot. Sorry about that. Nose tackle, maybe defensive end, another spot that they need help at. Cleveland's defense was bad to start out the year. They did end up pulling things together at the end of the year, but you need to freaking build up. You need to get a quarterback that you can trust, that won't be giving you off the field issues, won't be, a distraction, won't be causing your team a complete distraction, period. But yeah. Alright, next up, New Orleans Saints. And with the fact that they traded their tight end Jimmy Graham, I said to go tight end here. They're going to go tight end, possibly middle linebacker, but they'll probably wait the later round for middle linebacker. They could go offensive line, since they're a throwing team. Running back's another spot they really need help at, and I know you have Pierre Thomas and that, all that, but those guys are not, A-level or somewhat B-level running backs. They're C-level to me, but, Alright, next up, Miami Dolphins. I'll tell you what, with the fact you got Ndamukong Suh, this offseason, biggest free agent acquisition this offseason, you need to go with a defensive end to help Cameron, I think it's last name, Cameron Wake. You got to help Ndamukong Suh, maybe defensive tackle inside. You could go offensive line, wide receiver, to help your offense get better than what it has been. But Tannehill, I see great things in him. He just, don't have a lot of supporting cast around him on offense. The defense could keep you in games. And yeah, Tannehill, I think part of his inconsistency is because he don't have a receiver he trusts. And he don't have a line that he trusts. He needs a running back to help him too, take pressure off of him. Look at Andrew Luck in Indy. It came this close each year, and each year they've gotten put out by the Patriots because he ain't had help on defense, or he ain't had help on offense, or he ain't had good running backs, or the frickin' receivers dropped the ball several times during the game. But, so if you want to get your team to beating the Patriots in the AFC East, build your team, help Tannehill, help Sue, get the defense going, help Tannehill get the offense going, and get your team back to where they used to be years and years ago when you had Dan Marino. San Francisco 49ers, they lost Ray McDonald. They could go defensive tackle / defensive end because of the fact, it's a 3-4 defense, and they call defensive ends defensive tackle the 3-4 defense. And you need your nose tackle. I mean, you need a consistent, healthy, good nose tackle, because the nose tackles you got are usually injured, or you're freaking, or they're not playing up to standards. But, so yeah, that's San Francisco. What I also do with, maybe another running back. In fact, Gore's gone. And, so there's a lot of things. Offensive line's another spot. Need to help Kaepernick out on that offense, because he's going to be the face of your franchise right now. And, right now he's getting Michael Vick criticism because of the fact he ain't had ain't had a good offense around him. So, alright, let's see, for the Houston Texans, offensive line, and if they were smart, they go quarterback, because the quarterbacks they got on their team are not going to handle Andrew. They're not going to be able to put up points like Andrew Luck will be able to do this year. So, quarterback, that's, a dark horse. I'm going to say quarterback here, first round. They take a quarterback. They need a quarterback. They got a pretty good defense. You got J.J. Watt. You got the Jadeveon Clowney, who was injured all last year. Your defense is stout. You just got Vince Wilfork. If you got a quarterback, you could probably give us some challenge. But, they do give us a challenge, but they never get over the hump. Trying to be biased here.